Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. This video we are here to discuss how snowballs start. And the answer to that question is right here. Wait, what's that? Not that kind of snowball. Oh, okay. In-game snowballs. Gotcha. Alright, so we're going to change gears and talk about how snowballs start in MechWarrior Online. This makes much more sense now. So for that, we've got a couple of drops coming for you to help illustrate some of the principles that we're going to talk about today. And our first drop has us playing Assault Mode on HPG Manifold. We are in our Quick Draw. It is a Quick Draw 5K. It's a pretty typical laser vomit loadout, but I do like this mech. And as this drop unfolds in the background, let's talk about how snowballs start. So the first thing we need to tackle is the fact that there are many factors that come together to set up the proper conditions for a snowball to start. So instead of boring you to death with all the different conditions, because there are so many things that play into that, let's boil it down to one easily grasped concept regarding snowballs. And that concept is this. A snowball begins when either side achieves a clear numerical superiority. So now it all boils down to what I mean by clear numerical superiority. And before I get blasted in the comments, I get this. If the team gets ahead of you 1 kill, you can come back from that. 2 kills, you can still come back. It gets harder and harder. So for the purposes of our discussion here, I am talking about the chances of a snowball starting increasing exponentially with every kill advantage the enemy has greater than 2. Because after that, it becomes harder and harder to push the pendulum back the other way. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't happen, and we've all seen heroic comebacks, and we've seen the underdog achieve great things. I'm just saying that the chances of a snowball are going to increase in those types of conditions. Going back into the action on this drop, let's see if we can find some practical applications for the concepts that we are discussing in this video about snowballs. So far, there has not been a snowball. It's kind of a seesaw battle back and forth. Nobody has clearly gained the upper hand. We're just trading shots and kills. They can go up by 1, and then we turn the tables and maybe we go up by 1. And this is really boiling down to a knockdown drag out as we move our mech back and forth across the field, checking right flank, checking left flank, checking center, taking down enemy UAVs, looking for any areas where we can get an edge. This is a very slow-paced game. Not that I'm complaining at all. It's the way it needs to be instead of just blindly charging in. But the enemy is doing the same thing, so we're kind of like two prize fighters circling each other in the ring, each one looking to land that knockout blow, and it just hasn't presented itself yet. So as this continues to unfold, we eventually focus on the right flank. And on this right flank, there are definitely some opportunities for us to capitalize on. So looking for the opportunities, I feel that I might have found one, and that is India. He appears to be unsupported in Delta 6. Not sure what I'm dealing with, but I want to move over here to see if I can give us some kind of advantage. And sure enough, we find an awesome. It appears he is unsupported, and I've got to get a little more intel before I blindly push in, but I think this is a good thing because my mech can lay down a lot of damage with this laser vomit build, and there is the awesome, and we managed to take away his side torso with that last volley. So now he's really hurt. We've got an assault battle mech on the ropes, heavily damaged. All he has left are 2 ER medium lasers and an LRM-20. Based on his loadout versus mine, I'll take that any day of the week. And his LRMs are spread damage, where my lasers are a little more focused. So we just want to focus him down. I've got a teammate helping push him, and the teammate is going to take the kill on that. Meanwhile, keep an eye on the kill board. We're up by 2 kills. There's a damaged Ebenjag that came back, I think, to help the awesome, and he pays for it with his life. And now the score is 7-4. We are up by 3 kills, and my team is now able to consolidate back towards the center of the map. And as we do so, we are going to be able to bring greater focus fire on the enemy mechs. Another kill takes us 8-4, and we're starting to roll them up very quickly. Yes, this is the beginning of the snowball. In fact, it's going to turn into an avalanche here real quick. Kill board is now 9-4 with my last kill, 10-4 with a teammate's kill, and now we have a poor light who's about to be manhandled in the center here, and the locust goes down 11-4, and we're looking for the final enemy unit, which a teammate scores the kill on, and we finish this one out 12-4. Moving over to our end screen, there's some important things to look at now. It's very low damage across the board, which indicates the effects of the snowball, and evenly distributed damage and assists indicates lots of superior focus fire. Moving on to our next drop. This one has us playing domination mode on Hibernal Rift. We are in our Shadowcat, complete with dual ER-PPCs, and this is more of a long-range mech. I definitely want to be in a position where I can peek and poke the enemy at range, you know, second line or even further, because I do have a superior range advantage on the clan ER-PPCs. I'm moving to the center because this is domination. I do want to make sure that we're holding the clock while I look for enemy targets of opportunity. And in the center here was not such a smart move on my part. I didn't realize the enemy has put up a UAV, and as I try to peek, I am quickly focused by a trio of enemy units. I've got to back off from that. I'm definitely not going to re-peek it, and I want to get back into a second line position. So I ate a lot of damage across the front of my mech. Luckily, I get away without having lost an arm, a leg, or opened up a vital component on my mech. Now, we do find an enemy Ebenjag in the open. He's quickly focused and brought down by my teammates. And now I'm going to head off towards the Delta 3 area. I see there are some enemy units over here. Looks like they're trying to be stubborn. So let's see if we can shoo them along, as it were, taking down the enemy UAV as we go. And this is where a very important piece of the puzzle happens. Now, there's a lot of factors that contribute to the start of a snowball. Most importantly, you have to have snow. And in this drop, it comes in the form of poor positioning by the enemy team. If you're checking the mini-map, you can see that the enemy is spread out in a conga line from Delta 4 to Charlie 4, while we have a firing line set up on the high ground with our assaults holding down the ramp at Charlie 4, which is going to make it very difficult for them to push out of the low ground. The snowball is quickly turning into an avalanche as we go up 5-0. I can barely keep pace with our push. My teammates are being very, very aggressive. I don't know how impactful I'm being. I'm just trying to focus enemy targets with ECM and turn off their ECM with PPC shots to keep them focused on the board for my teammates. We do put this Marauder 2 under a lot of pressure, and he eventually goes down. And the score is now 8-1. We're in clear mop-up mode at this point, and we reacquire the Nightjar, who's with that Marauder. He fell all the way back, and now he's being swarmed by my teammates. Again, this is coming so fast, so furious, that I can barely keep up with our push. And now it is 10-1. We've got 2 units left to hunt down. One is out in Alpha 4. It's a Locust with 2 open legs. he is quickly going to be taken out. And then the last one turns out to be another Locust, a Pirate's Bane in the low ground, backed by the dropship, and he gets focused as well.
He's not running anywhere now.
Switching over to the end screen on this one, I'll say I wasn't the most impactful at all during this fight, but again, we see lots of low damage, indicative of the Snowball, evenly distribution of that damage, and the assists that tell me there was a lot of superior focus fire going on. Now, there's a lot of tactical details to unpack in this video, so it's definitely worth a rewatch, or 2 or 3, or yeah, that's it. Rewatch this as many times as possible and leave a like down below.